Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the featherweight bout between Gabriel Benitez versus Jonathan Pearce. And I see this one right here. So early on, I was leaning to Gabriel Benitez, so you already know where this is going. I'm leaning to Pearce. And why am I leaning to Pearce? So Gabriel Benitez, if this was a striking matchup or Gabriel Benitez takedown defense was so phenomenal, or like he was this guy, like he's so around, he's so solid that he can keep this fight where he wants to, and at his defeat, I would lead to Gabriel Benitez. But looking at Gabriel Benitez, his takedown defense accuracy right now, I think around 56%, and it hasn't been that bad recently because no one has been trying to take him down. Even when fights against wrestler guys or people that have wrestling backgrounds, they've been striking matchups like one takedown attempt or no takedown defense and pure striking. So he's been looking good. He's been looking solid in that area. I'm not saying he's been a world beater. He's definitely taken some brutal losses, definitely has some brutal wins, but he's been 50-50 and has for some good competition. But he hasn't really addressed his wrestling issue. You could say, oh, he fought Jason Knight and stuff, 7 of his 8 takedowns or something. But Jason Knight has never been a great offensive takedown artist. You look back to some of his fights with Enrique Barzola and Clay Collard. You look back at some of those fights right there. And Clay Collard is not an amazing wrestler. Clay Collard got 6 takedowns on him, and Enrique Barzola got 9 takedowns on him. And I think went 60% on takedowns, and that's very high for wrestling in MMA. So, and even probably the sport of wrestling, but any sense is a higher percentage for takedowns. So yeah, his takedown defense still looks questionable. I definitely feel like he's improved, especially since his contender, not his contender series, but since his Ultimate Fighter days, wherein a lot of those fighters from that Latin American season were so raw talented, like their talent was so raw that they look like straight up street amateurs just trying to find their way on the fly. But a lot of them, or not a lot of them, but the ones that have been able to stick around have shown big leaps in improvement, big leaps in their diet, nutrition, fitness, physical training. Yeah, they shown strength and conditioning. They shown leaps and improvements in every single asset, and he's one of them. He's probably top 5 as far as ones from those earlier Latin American seasons. So he's made a lot of improvements. So I definitely think his wrestling has improved. I definitely think his striking, his overall game has improved. But we have not really seen him address the wrestling against a guy that's going to be aggressive with it. Am I saying Jonathan Pearce is Jordan Burroughs or Khabib or anybody that really active with their wrestling, or Phil Davis, Ryan Bader, or some of these people, or Rob Davalishvili? There's people. I'm not thinking he's in none of those people, but he did show in the Kai Kamaka fight. And when I look more back at some of his fights, even his fight in one of the Contender Series, he is active with his wrestling and can go out there and be active with those shots. I think he would have got 6 or 7 takedowns. Well, I think 6 takedowns against Kai Kamaka. And Kai Kamaka, I think, has, not even I think, he does have a much better wrestling background than Gabriel Benitez. And you also got to factor in that Kai Kamaka does have cardio issues, so that's also a factor. And you got to factor Gabriel Benitez is a little bit more experienced, a little more polished. But again, a guy with a wrestling background, and he was able to go put on a high pace of wrestling and break down a guy that, still has questionable cardio, but the fact that his cardio has nothing against what Pearce does, and Pearce does have some pretty high cardio, and he's going to enforce the wrestling on Gabriel Benitez. And also, Jonathan Pearce isn't just a wrestler with an overhand that is those overhands and shoots telegraph takedowns. He's going to mix up well. He's going to shoot singles. He's going to shoot doubles. He's going to go crossbody. He's going to shoot and reshoot. He's going to change the angles. He's not a super high level wrestler, but he's certainly not a basic, predictable, low cardio wrestler that you could stuff a couple basic singles or basic doubles and then they're done. He's going to keep shooting takedowns until you put him out of there, and he's not a guy that's going to be necessarily easy. I do worry about him, closing range too much and getting into power punching range or leaving himself open for counters and power shots. But again, he's not just a basic overhand wrestler, so I like that about it. And I really see this fight going. I think Jonathan Pearce is going to pressure, shoot takedowns, make it a close fight, score takedowns. So I see Jonathan Pearce being able to grind out a decision over Gabriel Benitez. So in this one, I have Jonathan Pearce by decision.